Hey everybody, welcome back to today's video. First off, I just want to say happy April Fool's Day to everyone watching this. I hope you're playing many pranks and jokes on your family during a very serious time in the country where we're all kind of stuck in the house. We're practicing our social distancing, and we're really just hoping these next 4 to 8 weeks go by really quick so we can get back to normal. But today here on the YouTube channel, we have a very fun video planned out for you guys. The title is From Flipping to Winning in the Same Night. Now, some background for all of this to make sense. When I first started vlogging back in 2016, I wasn't really sure what to do. It's not like I had someone who was kind of showing me the ropes. I did my own research, but there wasn't any other real racing vloggers out there, so I kind of just was figuring out what to do in each video, and I was getting a lot of feedback from you guys. But when I first started vlogging, especially my first season at the Red Bluff Outlaws, I made my video about other drivers, kind of usually people in the open class, because that was the most exciting, and that's what seemed like people were interested in. All my videos during the 2016-2017 Red Bluff Outlaw season did not have much content about myself. Maybe I would mention kind of how I did, or maybe post a few laps of the GoPro, but it was not like my videos today where we were going through each part of the night, talking about what happened, talking about things we can do different with the car, showing you guys the racetrack. It was more just about another driver. Which sometimes I end up kind of kicking myself for that because, man, that was one of the most successful years of my career, and I didn't document it that well even though I was so new. But man, so many great things happened. I mean, we won 8 of the 13 races at the Red Bluff Outlaws. We won the championship by a good margin. But if you watch all my vlogs from that year, you might not even know all that stuff happened. So today, we're going to be looking back at one of the points races from that season, and we're going to talk about all the eventful things that happened that night. So let me set the setting for today's video. It is points race number 11 at the Red Bluff Outlaws during the 2016-2017 season, my last year in the 250 class, like I mentioned. We've already ran 10 races so far, and we've won 6 of them. So our winning percentage was really high. We already had that span of races where we won 5 times, and after those 5 wins, we had a bounty put on our head, which I'll link an old video about that bounty kinda, but pretty much what it was, we had won those 5 races in a row, and any driver that could beat us, Shane Graham said he was going to give a right rear tire and put on their outlaw kart show known as Mullet Media. So we have just had a really successful season. Everything has went our way. We've ran a lot of smart races. We've qualified, which back then, as you guys have seen now, I struggle at qualifying, but I feel like it was even worse that season. I had nights where I would come out and be 19th quick, 22nd quick, 15th quick, and I could just never get in a rhythm. And if we would have been able to qualify that season, we would have won by a landslide, but they were always able to make points up in that area while we would make them up during the A-main event. So we knew if we just crossed all of our T's and dotted all of our I's and ran the last 3 races in a smart manner, tried to get some wins and come out on top, but we would be crowned the champion for the season. Now, with all of that being said, everything took a turn for the worse as we started points race number 11. So we qualified good. We put it in the dash, which is exactly what we needed to do, and 4 cars transferred out of the heat race. Well, if you're unfamiliar with the format at Red Bluff, it is a 4-car invert. So if I'm the fastest qualifier out of the heat race guys, I start 4th. So this format is tough because even though I started 4th, I could have easily finished there and transferred to the A-main event, but you also want to try to get a spot or 2 to gain those valuable points, because if you're always just kind of sitting back in the heat race and just trying to barely transfer, then you're not going to gain those valuable points that you need to win a few heat races or run second. So now it's heat race time. We line up outside row number 2. We have a few good cars in front of us, a few good cars behind us. The track is still really hooked up because that's just how it is for the heat races. Besides this last season at Red Bluff where it started to get really slick during the heats, in previous years it was never like that, and as you'll see from the video, the track is just really fast during this time of the heat. So we fire off, we get a pretty good start, we're kind of battling for 2nd and 3rd, and all of us are right there. You could probably throw a blanket over the top 4 for a few laps, but I'm not going to spoil it. I'll let you see where everything kind of went wrong to start points race number 11.
And then it'll be the 44 of Antonia Biscacci and the 2K of Brody Petrie. Green flag is out. Oh, and Issa Curtis backs it into turn 1, somehow still side by side with Tanner Pettit. Curtis will slide up, Pettit hangs tough on the outside and takes the lead on lap number 1. Pettit out front, now Curtis slots in line on the top side. Oh, contact all over the place, sends Tanner Holmes and Trace Adams through the infield. Adams getting the worst end of that deal. Max Mitri, oh, Tanner Pettit upside down in a huge way off turn 4. comes the rest on the side. Top wing absolutely crunched on the 18T. That is your current points leader. And we'll try it again, see if we can get this race in. Mitri off turn 2 will retake the second spot after that big mistake earlier. Curtis back to third, Colby Fox fourth now. He got by Trace Adams on the restart. Tanner Holmes now trying to get by Trace Adams for fifth. Looks like he might have it here into 3 and 4. Tanner Holmes now fifth. White flag is out. Can Holmes get there and get by Colby Fox? Fox with a mistake off turn 2. Holmes goes to the top here. He's not going to be able to get it. Holmes will have to come from a B main. But Tanner Pettit will be your winner on the 24P, followed by Max Mitri and Anissa Curtis.
So a typical Red Bluff Outlaw heat race, we're battling for a limited number of transfer spots. It's not like the open class, we're only going for 2. Depending on the card count, it's either 3 or 4. That time it happened to be 4, and I tried. I gave it everything I had. A card kind of got loose in front of me, backed us all up, and the next lap, I tried to slot in there behind the 2X, and I caught his left rear with my right front, and I will tell you, the left rear was gonna win every single time on that one. It just tipped me over with a decently violent flip. I was all good to go. I just knew I made a very big mistake. When you're battling for a championship, you want to try to get through every heat race to where you can just put it straight into the A main event and give yourself a good starting spot, instead of being like me in this situation where I had to go run the B. This is where the term the Cheeto paint schemed car came into play. It happened twice during the season. I made a mistake in the heat race. I flipped over, tore up the wing, and we ended up having to put my orange wing on from the KTM paint scheme. Here's a look. A fan drew it up a while back, but this kind of gives you what it looked like. You know, it had the orange sail panel, it had the orange wing, and it had the blue body, and it looks just like the Cheeto bag. As a family, this is one of our favorite schemes. That's kind of like an accidental thing, but we just love that color combo, so maybe in the future we'll do a car with orange and blue on it. Now, the whole vlog that I made from this night, which I didn't go into a lot of detail about all of it, because like I mentioned earlier, kind of how I did my vlogs back then, but I'll link it in the description below for you guys to check out. If you want to see a much younger, high-voiced Tanner, you can check it out. If you don't, maybe just stay to watching this. So now we're moving on to the A main event portion of the night. We transferred through the B main. We started on the pole there, led every single lap, and kind of just, you know, tried to do our thing and get some notes for anything that maybe was damaged on the race car. We threw the spare wing on, we fixed everything. And now we're gonna roll off 13th for the A main event. Now our biggest competitor, Carson Perkins, he was running second in the points, and he started much farther up front than we did. So our goal the whole time was really just to try to get as close to him as possible and try not to lose any points. And man, everything went way different than we thought it would. Here's one of the key things that happened at the beginning of the A that we thought might end our night. We had the big one down in turn 1.
Butler not afraid to put a slide job on you. We'll see what happens here. Green flag is in the air. Oh, Lexi Rodman gets turned around. Oh, comes back on the track and just turns Colby Fox and collects half of the field. Holy cow.
So we ended up getting to fire back off. Nothing was really damaged on the car. It still didn't feel like it handled right because I think it got bent in the earlier wreck in the heat race when we got caught kind of just trying a little bit too hard. But now the whole A main event, we are just missing wrecks left and right. We're really just trying to be a smart racer, and we were. We ended up climbing into the top 5 and then eventually into the top 3. Now, I'll play these last few restarts for you guys to see, but check out this eventful finish where everything at the beginning of the night I caused, obviously, with the wreck, but how everything just went my way in just a crazy finish to the 250 A main event where we ended up parking it in victory lane.
6 to go for Max Mitri. Another good start for Mitri, but now Butler, oh, big time crash on the front stretch for Daniel Whitley, and Max Mitri spins. Mitri spins around, unbelievable. How about the run for the 3 of Trace Adams? He was the final transfer in the B main and is running second right now on the 3 car. But Raymond Valdez looking for his first win as well. Green flag is in the air. Great start for Trace Adams. Valdez slides it up to the top. We might have a crash behind him. Everybody sorts it out. Valdez out front. Tanner Holmes able to get by. The 2 of Tyler Matheny, and now Holmes up into the 3rd spot. We're wrecking on the front stretch. 2 cars through the infield. yellow will come out for the 24P of Tanner Pettit. Here we go. Lights are out, green back in the air. Green, white, checker finish coming here. Valdez to the bottom, Adams to the middle. Here comes Tanner Holmes down to the inside of Adams for the second spot. White flag for Raymond Valdez. Oh, Valdez breaks. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Tanner Holmes. I cannot believe it. Someone get the horseshoe. Someone get the horseshoe, the lucky rabbit's foot, and the four-leaf clover and take it out of this kid's back pocket. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Unbelievable.
Almost got the win there, but Dini, if you could have gone around that clean, he would have picked up the win. And Dini finishes fourth.
So that was crazy. I don't know what it was, but maybe some of you racers can relate, but when you just have a feeling that something is really gonna go your way, and the last few laps I was like, I think the 68 is gonna have an issue or something's gonna happen to give us a chance and an opportunity to win this race, and sure enough, something broke on the 68 on the last lap, collected the 3 car, and you kind of saw Tyler Matheny, the 2 car, if he could have got around that cleanly, he might have won the race, but the left front caught on it, and we were able just to sneak by, no issues, and we got our 7th win of the season. So we put the Cheeto car in victory lane. This was the second time during the season that we kind of had to do this scheme, and both times we had to do it, we parked it. So that's just an interesting fact. I don't know, it just must have been good luck to make a mistake earlier in the night and be able to rebound for it in the A. I love looking back at old videos. I have a few more maybe from this season we can go through. Let me know what your guys' thoughts were in the comment section down below. 2016-2017 was a dream season, like I mentioned. I almost wish I could just relive some of that because we were on our A game every single week. Plus, I got to be working with my dad and our good buddy Rick Rapp. That was right before we transferred over to driving for Factory QRC the following season. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Do not forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share. During this time, make sure you guys are washing your hands, taking care of yourself, and the sooner we kind of do everything right, the sooner life will be back to normal and we can all hang out at a racetrack here near you. Anyway, see you guys all in the next one. Deuces.